Legion episode 2. So by now that I guess that you guys have already watched Legion episode 1, I think I'm gonna give some spoiler in this episode 2. So if you haven't watched Legion episode 1, so there's a lot of things that's going on. By the time you are watching this video, I can say that you already watched episode 2. So I'm gonna give a little bit of spoilers of what's going on so that so that you get more understanding from this Legion. What I think about this episode is that it's quite good, to be honest. I like how small scale of this episode is. Not as big of a scale compared to the episode 1 where he's traveling here and there, then there's a lot of things going on, whereas this one is a bit smaller, where it really does involve David, the guy who's having mind problem and such. So these people, they took David to Summerland and they try to study him and try to get down to his root, like how did he manifest his power, and to discover him and to understand him, which I like about it, as in like they really try to understand him, try to ask him to train and control his ability, which I do appreciate this kind of development in a way for David to enhance his power. Based on this episode, sooner or later we'll see how he can control his ability, how he controls his emotion, and still we are not there yet, but it's a very good starting process, you can say that. So Samana is really trying to help him. There are a few things that I really is really nice to see, as in like how did he started to see this particular figure, the yellow eyes. I'm not going to say as far as that, I'm just going to call him the yellow eyes, which is still by today is as freaky as, this is like the freakiest thing I've seen so far by a TV show. So this is how he started to see these yellow eyes, and then how he got so unstable from that over, and then there's so many things that really causes him to be what he is right now. So that is very well established and very well paced in terms of that kind of story. Is really well paced. So don't really expect any action from this one, where this episode we are really trying to understand David as why he is now, which I really do dig, to be honest. Nothing much else to talk about other than the production of the episode. It's not as flashy, or it's not as flashy as the previous episode, but it's still good enough, and the tone and the sequences really do flow very nicely. So I really do appreciate that. Okay, in terms of acting, David is somehow, this person played by Dan, he performed much better than he is in episode 1. The way he portrayed David is really nice, as in like there are times when he knows what he's doing, and then when during the time when he's supposed to be very shaky, he is very shaky, as in unstable. He sees things, he's not himself. And then there are new characters which is in this particular episode where they introduce themselves and how they help David as a person, and then there's a lot of things going on which I really do appreciate in that term. And then they show a bit of their power and how it's related with it. But of course, it's not a lot of development for these characters, but it's understandable that they are there to help David, because essentially that the whole Legion story is all about David, how he controls his power. Then they all believe that David is the most powerful mutant in the future, who, even though the government called the Sector 3 is still trying to find him so desperately, to the point that I do have a feeling that they're gonna use him to become a government weapon or some sort, because he can move things with telepathic. Yes, telepathic means move things. Means he is a very strong mutant. So I really do appreciate that. Then again, this episode has no action, like I said earlier. Nothing much other than understand David as a person and how he get his ability, how he see things. And then as the progression goes on around the 3rd act or the 4th act, which really got me excited. The person played by Jean Smart, she is asking him to control his power, as in like training him in a way to the point like tone down, as in like an amplifier. How do you tune down the bass, tune down the treble? This is where I like how he started to learn how to control his power, which I really do appreciate. And then Jean Smart really do tell David like they are not born sick, they are born differently. So for David's case, it's a bit different, because I'm sorry to say this, that most people who think they are hearing voices, but turns out that it's not their problem, is because they have the ability to hear voices, as in they have telekinesis in. So David is really a mutant, so he's not particularly that kind of problem, but he is a mutant. So that's why she started explaining to him like he has ability. And then now there are a few things that really still give us more curiosity in terms like who is the guy as David's father. So who is he? He's claims that he's the astronaut. Then he started to tell very scary story to David, to the point like, is he the one that really tells that causes David power and the fear, the how he started to have this kind of nightmare and such. So by the end of the episode, David started to control his power to the point that he can only concentrate on one person, which is his sister Amy, and then Amy is being captured by the Sector 3. And then the Sector 3 is going to use her as a bait, which I kind of like to really, in order to capture him, because, to capture David, so that it lures him. So David initially wanted to go out alone and save them. These people, the Summerland people, really try to help him out, says that she's a bait and something, which I kind of like. If that's pretty a good writing, to be honest, to the point, it's really, really nice. Other than that, in terms of the production, like I said in the episode 1, the costume design was done well, the setting was done well, the coloring was done very well as well. They still have the 60 and 70 kind of feel, and then the music still the same. It really is. I'm not complaining or what. It's just that it's still the same. That is very appropriate, and then the transition is nice. But compared with episode 1, this episode feels as like a smaller scale, a very, very smaller scale, which I do appreciate. So I can't wait for episode 3. This is really, really well done for just episode 2, as in order to study David alone. So this is my review and reaction for episode 2, and I'll see you all next time.